Okay, you guys. Sorry about that. Oh my, it looks like it's about to rain, you guys. So, I have my tea, and we're going to get into some conversation here because as we're getting into the new year here, you ladies are going to have to make some decisions here pertaining to the types of people that you want in your circle. And this is just my opinion. I don't deal with male centered women, and I don't deal with pygmies. And I do that because of my safety. Um, this is not about hating women who want to get in relationships with men. This is because I've had men come and tell me, "Oh, you don't want to deal with women who deal with men." That is incorrect. I prefer if women didn't deal with you men at all, regardless what type of woman they are. If they're a pygmy, if they're male centered, regardless of race, really no woman should be dealing with you men at all. If we really want to get technical, this isn't about um this isn't about the race. This isn't even about what type of woman she is. She could be a pick me. She could be male centered. She can be a divester. She could be pro black woman. It really doesn't matter. In my opinion, not anybody else's opinion, no woman should be dealing with you men at all, period. Other than a selective percentile of you men when it comes to procreation. Outside of that, everything else that you men expect of women is all patriarchal nonsense. And the reason why I say all of this is because I don't follow the patriarchal nonsense. So for all of you men who think women are supposed to submit to you and you're superior than women, I don't follow that nonsense. And if you're the type of man who follows that, then it wouldn't work out for a woman like me and you in the first place. But if we really want to get technical, no woman should be dealing with you men at all. Period. There should be a selective amount of you men who are only meant to procreate with women, and that's it. And speaking of that, let me go ahead and be clear about what I talk about here on my channel. Here are the rules for my channel. Okay, I don't allow men on my panel. I don't want to collab with you men. This is a safe space for black women. This is a safe space for black women. I do have other races of women come over here, but this is a safe space for black women. This channel here that you're on is a channel created by a black woman for black women. Okay. My second rule, okay, this is not a patriarchal channel. This is not a patriarchal channel. This is not a patriarchal channel, which means I do not support patriarchal belief systems. I've said that many times on here, but then I still have men coming over here talking about good men, submission. I don't care if you are what you would deem to be a good man. This isn't what this is about. I don't follow the patriarchal nonsense. Anything that is patriarchal is a man-made system that I don't follow. I don't even follow man-made religion. Okay? I don't follow that either. No, I'm not atheist. No, I'm not agnostic. Yes, I believe in a creator. And yes, I believe that that creator is a woman. That's what I believe in. I don't believe that the male deity that you guys worship, pronouns he, represents God. And why do I say that? Because I've never seen a man give birth to a child. Okay? I've never seen a man give birth to a child. What do I look like worshiping my creation? Last I checked, women give birth to the planet. Women bring life to the planet. And since the birth rates are down, you men should get out here and get the birth rates up since you think you're God. Go ahead and get the birth rates up. Get them up. Because right now the birth rates right now, from what I heard, it's almost at zero. So you men should get out here and get the birth rate up since you guys care about babies so much. Since you care about the birth rate. And while you're at it, go ahead and get the marriage rates up too. Because that's another man-made system that I don't follow. You guys have to understand that these systems that you guys are supporting are the same systems that have been orchestrated and created by men to control and oppress women, just like religion. Black people, they didn't have to hit you with the chains and whips in 2026. They just give you a Bible and you go right along with this nonsense because you're enslaved mentally. And there are still Black people enslaved mentally in 2026. I am still unprogramming from all of this patriarchal nonsense. Okay. I don't follow systems that man created. And this is why all of this is happening. This is why the birth rates are plummeting. This is why the marriage rates are getting ready to plummet. I told you guys that if you were a woman in a marriage, now would be the time to get out of that marriage if that union is not serving you. Because here in a moment, you're not going to be able to get out of the marriages that you're in. If you guys thought Handmaid's Tale Project 2025 was bad, go look up Project Esther and then come back to my channel. Hold on a second, you guys. You might want to go look up, and I had a message. You might want to go look up Project Esther because this rabbit hole gets very deep. I haven't had a chance to look at Project Esther, but I'm hearing it's just as bad as the Handmaid's Tale. And the sad thing about it, it's almost completed. What do you mean it's almost completed? Their plan is almost together. Uh, it is a counteraction. It is a counteraction of the Handmaid's Tale. And this is something that these powerful people want to put in place. I'm just letting you guys know that playtime is over. You women don't have time to be out here playing with your lives, with your reproductive health, or nothing else. And the reason why I titled this live the way that I did is because if you women who are calling yourselves decentered, if you don't get away from men and you don't get away from a lot of these women who are male centered, they're going to be the death of you. And I hate to say that, but if you guys don't get away from these men, and a lot of these men and a lot of these male-centered women, they're going to be the death of you. The only reason why men right now are not causing havoc in civilization right now is because there are laws here to protect you in your state and me in my state. And there are constitutional laws and all this stuff here. But what would happen if these laws didn't exist? These men would get away with literally, the M word. And a lot of them are, right through femicide, martycide, homicide, and suicide. You guys have to understand that this system is a man-made system that men are following, that they have been taught to follow, and you guys are going along with these systems. You're going right along with the system. And there is another thing called parricide, which I will have to talk about all of these I's. There is a such thing as called martycide, which is the unaliving of the mother, and then the parricide is the unaliving of both parents. Don't you guys understand, when you put women and men in the same system together, it never works out? Because it is not in nature for you to live or dwell in a home with a man. But yet many of you got to live with a man. You got to have access to a man because you're following societal systems that you have been taught. You've been taught to follow these systems. These are societal expectations that society has taught you and groomed you to follow, along with religious dogma. And as long as you guys keep following these systems, and you keep following men, and you keep thinking that men are supposed to be above you, and you keep believing in this male deity, you're going to keep hearing about what's happening to women. Male-centered women are just as dangerous as men. The end. The only difference is, a lot of these male-centered women, they have the flesh of a woman, but they have the spirit and the soul of a man. I will have to do another live about that later. And before any of you come to my channel saying, well, Akina, you don't support women getting married, I didn't say that. I said that the institution of marriage is a man-made concept and system that you have been taught to believe, that you are supposed to be inferior to a man and he should be superior to you. That is another form of enslavement, just like religion, where you go to church, you sit down and you listen to your pastor, you believe everything that the pastor tells you. Which is another form of enslavement. Having children for men is another form of enslavement. Politics is another form of enslavement. Racism is another form of enslavement. Capitalism is another form of enslavement. Oppression is another form of enslavement. This current administration is another form of enslavement. And these policies that these conservatives are trying to force down the throats of men and women, along with Project Esther. PROJECTESTHER. Go look that up. You guys keep following these man-made systems, especially you women. And if you believe not all men are bad, then you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. If you have convinced yourself and believe that all men on the planet are great. And if you are the type of woman who trusts men with your life and your body and so on, I can't trust you either. I can't trust you either. You're the type of woman who would set a woman up all for the sake of having a man. You're the type of woman you wouldn't care what happened to your daughter if you had one, all for the sake of a man. You're the type of woman who will probably allow any types of men around your children for the sake of having a man. You're the type of woman who has no problem going back to men, even though they're abusing and cheating on you and so on, all for the sake of a man. This channel is not for the weak over here. This channel right here is for women who have decentered men. Not divested from men, decentered men. Akina has not only divested from the Black community and all that toxicity and dysfunction, I've also decentered from men. I do not pedestalize one race of man above the other. I do not sit here and say that any man who I'm dealing with, if I choose to deal with a man, is better than this man or that man. None of that. None of that. And like I said, a lot of you male-centered women, you're going to, well, let me say this. A lot of these women who have decentered men, if they continuously keep associating with you types of women who are operating at a very low frequency for the sake of having a man, I'm putting up with X, Y, and Z because I got to have a man, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. What percentile of men do I think are decent on the planet? Do you really want me to tell you the answer? Less than 15%. And I think the majority of men are incels or have incel tendencies. That's just my opinion. The only women right now who are legitimately free under this system are women who are single and child free. That's it. The rest of you are just enslaved. Whether you're partner to a man, whether you're out here getting married to a man or whatever, you're part of the system that women like me are deconstructing or have deconstructed mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Decenterment is not a weak journey. Once again, it is not for the weak. And, I don't want to have to hear another woman get on this app and complain about another man and the generations to come. These billionaires, these elites, all of these people know what's coming down the pipeline between men and women. These people have prepared for this. Hey, May, these people have prepared for this, you guys. And this is why they have written their articles, uh, making their predictions about what they think and believe is coming between men and women in the next 5 to 10 years. I'm going to say this. I told you guys dating was done. Dating was done. The systems are done. Economically and societal shifts are coming for America. And I felt that after New Year's, that something very dreadful was coming to America. I can't quite put my finger on it, but the old ways are done in this country. These old systems, currency, all of this stuff is coming to an end. These people have prepared for this. People are preparing for this. What I like to see, blooming, healthy relationships between men and women, of course. But the reality is, when you don't do the work and you don't evolve and you don't make the changes to adapt to changes in society, you will get left behind. And what's getting ready to happen with a lot of these men, they're getting ready to get left behind. I'm talking about they're getting ready to get left behind, because we cannot continue on in society like this with a bunch of inept males who are just running around in civilization, causing havoc not only on women and children, other men and the planet. Men are supposed to be taking care of the planet. You men are supposed to be taking care of the planet, and you're not. You're destroying everything you put your hands on. And Mother Nature is getting sick and tired of you men. So this is not about a male loneliness epidemic. This is about the consequences of you men not doing what you were asked to do. This was a cosmic promise that you made, that you would take care of women, the animals, the children, everything. And you men did not do what you were supposed to be doing, or what you were asked to do, rather. This is just the consequences of you men failing under this system. And women, it is not your responsibility to fix these men. It's not. Your responsibility is to remain in your divine feminine state. Natural selection is going to take care of you men. It's going to take care of you. Because that is the natural order for how this plays out when you're dealing with karmic things. These men are just dealing with the karmic reckoning of the choices that they have made and how they have treated women, the children, the pets, and all of that. You guys have to understand that men stole from women since the beginning of time. They have taken the matriarch of energies and things like that, and they have combined it in a patriarchal concept that they have now used as a weapon against women. What am I saying? I'm saying that men are now weapons against women. Because if you tell a man you're going to decenter him, what is the first thing he's going to do? He's going to use religious dogma against you. Well, scripture says that man shouldn't be alone. And he that findeth, they're going to go right back to those same biblical scriptures. And they have taken those biblical scriptures out of concept. Just like with the story about Adam and Eve. I told you guys the Bible has been tampered with. What would you say, black people, black women? What would you say If I tell you that everything in that Bible is about us and not these non-black people, what would you say? What would you say if I say that the black man is cursed? What would you say then? Yes, the black man is cursed. Y'all not ready for this conversation. Yeah, and the black man is cursed because everything in that Bible is about us. But some individuals decided, I'm not going to say any names, people that don't look like me and you decided to go and fool with this Bible. And they had to make it seem like their God was the superior one over what I know and believe is not the image that we have been taught to believe, that this individual has long blonde hair and blue eyes and freckles. So they gave you their version of their God and they took our things from us. What would y'all say if I told you that the 12 disciples were really about the cosmos and goddesses instead of the 12 disciples? But see, y'all are not ready for these conversations on here. And see, this is why it's important to do your research about things before you start believing things that somebody's telling you to believe. What would y'all say if I told y'all that our ancestors believed in spirituality and not religion dogma? Or that a lot of our history comes from Kemet teachings and Egyptian times? Yeah, that a lot of what we've been taught has been watered down information that's not accurate information. And I'm not here to discredit the Bible or anything in the Bible. I'm just saying not everything is what it seems. And this is why it's important to do your research. The concept of the Bible may be correct, but the characters, the actual story, all of these things may be incorrect according to what you have been taught. What would you say if I said that the original Bible is really a Torah and not the Bible that you walk around with, or the one that I have in here? Or what would you say if I say that in the first original written Bible, which by the way the Pope has in the Vatican, do you guys know that the first Bible, the original Bible, is sitting in the Vatican? Why is the Bible sitting in the Vatican, locked away in a sealed in chamber? Why is the Bible there? Why is the Bible there? Why are we not allowed to have access to a copy, the copy of the Bible? And I say the as in THEE, not THE. Why is the Pope protecting the Bible? Why is there a mural or some sort of painting showing a picture of a black man who is Jesus Christ? I mean, this goes very deep, you guys. But once again, I'm not here to discredit Christianity or anything pertaining to that. I'm just letting you guys know that what you have been taught has been nothing but lies. And there's nothing factual to back up anything that you have been taught other than your pastor. Well, my pastor said, this pastor said this pastor said that. What would you say if I say that the first creation of life was not a man, it was a woman? And we were here before men. We were here before the dinosaurs. And I'm talking about way before time ever existed, because time has no limit. Time is infinity. So why do we have a calendar with 12 months? And why are there 28 to 31 days in a month? Yeah, you guys are not ready for these. And see, certain women who have consciously evolved, you guys, this tea is so good. I'm currently doing a detox right now. I need to do a parasitic detox. And this is blackened tea that I bought with a little bit of sugar in there. Um, because what I'm noticing about our food supply, there's something wrong with it. The quality of our food is not accurate. And it's just something strange about it, you know? And I just don't care for it. People who never question anything, they scare me. And the reason why they scare me is because you believe everything that you are taught without questioning nothing and where it came from. I mean, absolutely nowhere where it came from. I'm here to let you ladies know that we're getting ready to go into an extension level burst. Well, Kina, what do you mean? Well, as below, so below. As above, so below. What does that mean? Everything that has been manifested on this planet eventually has to come to a higher purpose, or it has to come to an end. And a lot of these systems were created, they were not manifested. And this is why you guys are seeing all of this division happening between men and women. It's not because women have evolved over the men. No, it is because these systems that have been put here are coming to an end. This world, as we know it, is coming to an end in a spiritual sense. Things have to restore so that things can be balanced the way that it needs to be in harmony. There are absolutely too many of you men here, and the planet cannot breathe right now. And when you're messing with the divine feminine, you're messing with the divine order of how things are supposed to be, then eventually everything is going to backfire. You guys are going to start hearing about more earthquakes. We just had an earthquake here last week. Yes, Northwest Louisiana just had an earthquake. Sometimes I could just be sitting in my house and something could be rumbling, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Mother Nature is getting tired of being tampered with. And eventually, this energy has to come back somewhere. Everything is backfiring. We're getting ready to go into the rise of the matriarch of energy. We are currently in the age of Aquarius. And then we have the return of Saturn. What does that all mean? Apocalyptic events are upon us. And if you ladies are not high, I want to say, oh my God, I was getting ready to say hibernating. Why was I getting ready to say that? If you it'll come to me why I said that. And it could be hibernation cocoon state. If you ladies are not operating at a higher frequency, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. There are parasites just all on this planet, y'all. And the air that we're breathing and the food that we're eating, even in what we're drinking. This is why I'm doing the detox of the gut area. I'm working on the chakras. We have about 9 chakras. I say 10. And there's this Ethernet cord that runs straight into the cosmos. And the more melanin you have, the more consciously evolved you are. The less melanin that you have, the less conscious that you are. What did you say? The less melanin that you have, the less conscious you are. The more melanin that you have, the more conscious that you are. You heard me correctly. Black people, you are the closest thing to the resemblance or the embodiment of the Most High. You need to realize how powerful your melanin is, because this situation that's happening in Texas is about it's about organ harvesting, but it's about energy harvesting of the melanin energy, which is a pigment that is a survival pigment to keep you in balancement here on the planet. And we can use that sun's energy source to dismantle negativity and balance those chakras. See, they didn't want you to know that. See, they convince you to stay in. No, when the sun is out, I'm outside sunbathing, literally naked. I am absorbing that melanin, that energy source from the sun. But they told you that the Son of God had to return, right? The Son has always been here. Okay, you guys, sorry about that. I did an online order. I'm getting fruit and stuff. I'm still fasting, y'all. That was part of my New Year's resolution to fast. So, getting more fruit in my diet, and I haven't had watermelon in a while. Okay, you guys, I'm back. So I had to get some fruit. My intentions were to get a watermelon for New Year's Day when I had sent, because we didn't cook cabbage or anything like that. My grandmother ended up putting some, she ended up cooking gravy and rice and meat gravy. I ended up frying some fish, and I had did some potato salad, and that's what we did yesterday for New Year's. But you guys, everything that's happening right now is not a coincidence. This is not because women are evolving, which is not the root of this. This is because these systems that women have been groomed into, as well as men, they're coming to an end. And women have awoken now to these systems. And we're waking up out of the beauty sleep and the Princess and the Frog and all of these Disney effects that we were taught, that having a man is like a knight in shining armor, and he's gonna come take us away on his white horse, and we're gonna run away into the sunset. I grew up on nothing but Disney, you guys. The Disney movies, the Disney books, the Disney VHS tapes. My grandmother has the whole Disney collection. And at the end of the day, women have awoken, and men do not want us to awaken to what's going on. And women are starting to question things that they once believed in, like, all of this religion, the religious dogma. Women and people are starting to question this, and this is why so many women are leaving the churches. We make up the biggest recipients, especially black women, when it comes to the church. We were taught that if we want a good man, we must pray for one. We were taught that if we pay our tithes and offering, it's gonna give us a man. Yeah, black women do make up the church. Yeah, we do. We keep a lot of these churches running, especially, and I mean women and black women. I mean that. In other words, you see, well, not now, but in the past, because a lot of women are leaving the church. In the past, that is where black women stood and remained. More women in church. Not a whole lot of men, but you saw a whole lot of women there. And it's time for us to get out of that. Yeah, I grew up as a Southern Baptist too. And I mean, every Sunday, My grandmother had us going to church, but now women are coming out of that, and they're leaving the churches because we're realizing that praying for a man ain't the answer. And even church can't help a lot of these men. Church can't even save a lot of these men because this is not a spiritual thing that's going on with these men. This is a character problem. This is what's wrong with these men. Their characters are not right. That's why y'all can't find good men. It is because their character is messed up. Did y'all see that story I posted on my channel yesterday? That elderly woman catching AIDS. That blew me back. The whole time they thought that woman had cancer, and she did. And then her health started to deteriorate, and they found out this woman had cancer. I mean, AIDS. Oh, and then the cancer came back. I think she had breast cancer, and she survived that. Right? It went into remission, and then her doggone husband sat there and gave her AIDS, and then her cancer came back. And the woman started to lose her lungs, and stuff was deteriorating, and she was starting to lose her voice. And the whole entire time the husband knew he had that stuff. I guess it is true that when you get married to these men, it's to death do your part, huh? You're gonna really, really suffer with these men until death. And that's literally what the patriarchal system is. You women who still want to hang yourself on the men, you're gonna suffer until death. You're gonna suffer to death. They're gonna use you however they want to use you until death. And that's what Project 2025 is all about. You women just getting out here having babies for men, just plowing them babies out left and right until you die. Until you die. Until they get that birth rate up because they want all women to have 2.7 babies. Where is the seven coming from? What is that? Hmm. But Project Esther is just terrifying. I haven't sat down and read it yet, but it's quite terrifying. And with Project Esther, they're going to actually implant you with the baby. And you're going to carry the baby like an incubator. This is from what I'm gathering. You're going to carry that baby like an incubator. They're going to implant you with the baby, and you're going to carry the baby and have the baby due to some artificial intelligence they want to put in people. And I got a strange feeling this thing that I warned many people not to get who went and got it, you're going to be a part of this thing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That thing I have been sitting on here warning you guys not to go and get that popular thing, the thing where you had to go get it to keep your job. That thing is a part of this administration. And if you took that stuff, you are in trouble. I don't know what kind of mess is going on here, but I told people not to fool with that. And the crazy thing about it, a lot of y'all went into multiple hits of that stuff. hmm You went and you took multiple things of them things. I'm talking in code because I can't even talk the way how I want to talk. Yeah, some of y'all and told me you didn't took four of them things. What? What? Well, I had to. No, you didn't. You chose to because you trust this system and you trust them more than you trust your own immune system. But carry on. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just telling you what's going on here. And then I'm hearing that all kind of stuff was in that stuff. All kind of parasites of some sort was in that. Um, and how do you know you got parasites? Hmm. You start having rashes and whatnot all over your body, and just want to eat a lot. This is why I'm fasting right now for at least 30 days. I have to detox. Then they come all out in your pores and your hair, and huh, I hate doing parasite cleans, but it's everywhere. Little parasites of some sort. This is why I take vitamins, and then a lot of y'all are laying with these parasitic men that's just sucking you dry and sucking you dry, and they're sucking your money. They sucking you. I mean, energy. I mean, some of y'all you're aging back. You are aging back, and no wonder why my daddy like him young. You see how y'all saw how young my daddy looked? He's 60 years old, but walking around here like he in his 40s. I told him, if you don't sit your behind down, daddy, he said, "What you mean? I'm a player." Yeah, you sucking just sucking these men, just sucking y'all dry. Ain't that man gonna suck me dry? Shit. The devil is a lie. Mm-mm. Y'all just being sucked dry by these men all day, every day. They just sucking you dry. They sucking you dry when you intimate with them. They just sucking you dry. You don't have no vitality in you. You look like you an age prone. You better be careful with the water too. Okay, you guys, be careful with this water. Get the other bag of chips off the sofa. Go ahead and get a bag out of there. Be careful with the stuff that y'all are eating because a lot of this stuff is just full of parasites. Like a lot of processed foods. My kids love chips. Not me. Mm-mm. Uh, I don't know, y'all. It's just strange times that we're living in where we got to start questioning things, and this is why like I said, this is why I started doing my little detox remedy where during my detox things I eat salads and fruit salads, and I drink teas and water, and I'm in which I'm about to get ready to meditate here for about 2 hours. I have affirmation work to do. I have grounding work to do. The ground is wet, so I can't even touch the grass. Um, I normally do water detoxes and things like that, and um, recharge those chakras and stuff. So that's what I do during these types of things that like for detoxing. This is what you ladies are gonna have to do in this season. You're gonna have to really, really stay grounded and keep your vibrational levels up because everything with these men, they're going to start wailing out, and they're going to start flashing out, and they're going to start getting angry and angrier as you guys continue to keep decentering them, because these men can sense the shift that's happening with the divine feminine, and they know that this energy is coming, and they don't know what to do or how to respond. So the first instinct that they're going to do is start going to male violence. You're going to start hearing about men unaliving themselves and other men, and they're going to start trying to unalive you women because they're panicking and they don't know what to do. Women are in survival mode, and these men are in panic and fear mode. And for all of you men who come over here, you're not going to make it without us. You're telling a lie. I'm into gardening, I'm into canning, I'm into sewing. Y'all can miss me with that. I'm about to start getting my gardens going here in the next couple of weeks. I sew. I know how to crochet. So you men can miss me with all that about women don't know how to survive without men. I have lived out in the woods. I feel safer out in the woods with the animals and wildlife than I do with most of you men. I know how to read a map. I know how to read a compass. I don't know how to fish, but my daddy taught me how to hunt. I know how to make a bow and spear from wood. You men can miss me with this shit. What it is, you men don't know how to survive without women. You're the ones who are lost without women and don't know what to do. What would you guys do if these systems collapse? If the internet goes bye bye? If the cable goes bye bye? If McDonald's and Burger King go bye bye? All of these comfort places go bye bye. What would y'all do? How would you make it? How would you survive? I can tell you right now, my children wouldn't make it one day without the internet here. Because we purposely unplugged the internet here just to see how they would respond here, and they like them and lost their mind with that internet being off. I don't need the internet. I don't even need this cell phone. I'm just telling you, ladies, y'all better get prepared because we're coming. And I'm telling you, we in some strange times. I don't know about y'all, but when after New Year, something strange just happened. Very weird energy started happening here after New Year's. And I don't like the feeling that I feel in this year. Y'all better just stay prepared. Have some water in your house, have some non perishable stuff in your house. It wouldn't surprise me if one of the little gray little men come out. It's just something strange about 2026 that I can't quite put my finger on. But one thing is for certain, and two things is for a fact. We are definitely living in some strange times, and you ladies better get prepared. You better get your houses prepared. You better get your minds prepared for what I think is getting ready to happen in America. I've been seeing some strange videos on my TikTok feed that just not making no sense right now. And I started seeing this down my algorithm last night. I'm like, what is this? And every time I turn on my phone, just something strange on there. So that's the times that we're living in. And, all of you men walking around here just desperate because they're desperate, ladies. They're desperate for a woman. They have been taught to believe that all they have to do is show up to get a woman. That's it. They don't know no other way out here other than they are entitled to a woman. They don't know how to respond to women's standards. They don't know how to respond to what women are doing right now. And they're just like really animalistic right now, these men. Y'all better protect yourselves. Because in the vision that I saw at the end of last year, I literally saw people out in you go to the store. There were people literally arguing with each other. And I could hear people behind me arguing with each other. And all I had to do, like I was just running in the store, and people were arguing with people that they did not know. Something is gonna start making people something's making people angry, you guys. But even beyond that, in the vision that I saw, people were literally scrapping in the stores. I mean, like fighting. And these were people that they didn't know. If you even looked at somebody funny, they were ready to fight you. And this is what I kept sensing in the vision. Like there's going to come a point in time, it's not going to be safe to go out in public. This is another thing I'm going to say before I get off here because I've had these visions. You live in California, New York, where these high rider buildings are at. Y'all better be careful because something is getting ready to happen in the East Coast. I want to say the East Coast or the West Coast. Something's getting ready to happen. And I'm feeling like California. California. Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. Because I literally got the feeling that I want to say New York and all of these places where these high rider buildings are at, like upstate. This is where I saw this. Like when I'm having these visions, I just see these tall buildings, and I just feel like something's gonna happen. A big mega quake or some sort is gonna happen, and it is going to shake the core of this country. I'm telling y'all, something is just weird going on. And I mean, since the yeah, since the election and since New Year's Day, I mean, something just ain't right here. I was in my bed on New Year's Eve watching movies all day on Tubi and Peacock. I just refused to go out, and my kids didn't even shoot no fire. We didn't do none of that. We didn't do none of that. We just stayed home, right? I cooked whatever we cooked on New Year's Day. Yesterday, we just stayed in. It didn't even feel like New Year's Day. It just feels like we're in a whole nother timeline or some sort. And the reality is we're not. It's don't even feel like we're really here. It just feels like I don't even think 2025 closed off. If we really want to get technical, something happened on New Year's Day that just don't make sense. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it's kind of like when we went into 2026, did it feel like you were just going through some kind of a birthing pain? Like it was a very hard transition getting on over to 2026, like something didn't want you to just go on over to 2026. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me because I felt like my whole body didn't want to go on over to 2026. Like I dread what's in this year, but it's kind of like it was a very hard transition getting on over to 2020. You know how when you go into the new year, you're excited and all this and that. My body did not want to go into 2026. My body was literally like, no, I'm not going to go into 2026. I'm here. We're here. We made it on over. But I tell you, it was a hard transition. I don't know, like something was keeping us from going into 2026, you guys. I don't know what the hell that was about. It was a very complicated transition. Like you just transition on over into a new year. It was like my body didn't even. And then when I did make it on over here, it was just kind of like, ugh. Like why am I in this year? What is the like my body wasn't satisfied or so. I don't know. It was just very strange times that we're living in. And I tell you, 2026 just gives me the indication that it's gonna be a very weird year. We're not gonna have a normal year in this year. We're just not. But I'm telling y'all better get prepared because something strange is bound to happen here uh in this year. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. People are just getting meaner and colder and more angry. What is that about? What is all that about? What is that about? That energy, that angry energy there that a lot of people are carrying. What is that about? And it's almost like you can't really talk to nobody. Because if you talk to people, they don't really want to talk to you. I don't know. I don't know. I just know it's strange. That's all I know. And I just know I'm not feeling this year. I don't care about no 2026. I mean, I told y'all, if y'all thought 2025 was something, I think it's this year. I think it's this year. This is the year we're gonna start seeing and encountering some stuff. Man, it would surprise me if we start seeing the third kind walk around here. Some kind of alien hybrid. I don't know, just some crazy stuff we're going to see and experience that ain't just gonna make sense. And I think it's gonna make people lose their everlasting mind if they ever saw something that's not from here. And see, when you're not prepared spiritually for this, you're not gonna know how to respond to anything. And I'm just seeing these strange videos all on TikTok of strange encounters and third kind. And like, what is this foolishness? It is what's upon us. These things or beings, entities, whatever you want to call them, they're here. They've been here. And I'm meeting these strange people, all of them down my TikTok feed. Who are these beings and why are they here? What is this? I think the illusion of this world is coming off. The masks are coming off. And that's really what I want to say. And it's just like we're in some kind of a stimulation. It feels like we're in a stimulation right now. It doesn't even like we're in a dream state world, right? That's what it feels like, right? Like you're in a sleep, but you really can't wake up, but you know that you're here. But that is literally what I feel like we are in a dream state right now. You know that you awoke, you know that you're here, but it don't feel like you're actually here though. It don't feel like that, do it? My advice, y'all better meditate, stay grounded, and we're gonna try to make it through this year because I tell you something is just not right. And it feels like we're in a dream state. Like when you go to bed and then you wake up and it don't feel like you're quite awoke yet. That's the feeling that I feel for this year. Like we are in a dream state. We are ascending. We are ascending. And if you guys don't ascend with the planet and I tell you today, go get you some fruit. I absolutely love cantaloupe, but cantaloupe don't love me because I think that's one of those fruits I can't have. I went and got me some watermelon. I had to get me some fruit, y'all. Get you some watermelon, some fruit, drink you some water. I love nuts, peanuts. I sent and got some nuts. The boil, you can get them dry. I even sent and got boiled peanuts, which I'm probably gonna cook later today. Just some boiled peanuts. My kids love them too. Get you some nuts in your system, and you guys need to start meditating. Berries have antioxidants in them. I love blueberries. I love blueberries. I love cherries with whipped cream. I should have sent and got me some of that and made me a little yo plate yogurt thing with granola bars. I normally make my own little stuff like that. I'm not gonna go to McDonald's fan for that stuff. I make my own stuff. I get the yogurt and I make my kids yogurt pops during the summer, and I put all kind of fruits and stuff in them. You guys better start meditating and fasting. I'm telling you, and my body needs to detox. It needs to detox from impurities and all of this funky weird energy. I don't know, it's just some strange times that we're living in. It wouldn't surprise me if we open up our windows and see a big UFO sitting outside. Once again, this is all for entertainment purposes. This is the season that we're in where any and everything can happen. And 2026 just don't seem quite right here. I I don't know. It's just crazy what's going on. No, you're right. It's gonna go down this year. I feel it too. Yeah, something big and bad is coming. And boy, I tell you, that transition going into 2026, my body wanted to fight it so bad. I'm like, well, damn, what's keeping us from going into 2026? But my body eventually came on over into this year, and it was just like, ugh. And since then, it's been some strange feeling ever since then. But it wasn't an easy transition like every other year, right? It was very hard transition. So I can only imagine how the people felt who haven't meditated and did the grounding work, which I've been telling people to do. I wonder how they feel. Because if it was hard for people who regularly do the work to ascend on over, how did the people feel who didn't actually do the work? I bet you that body was hit like a ton of bricks. Yeah, you guys meditate and fast and keep your energy very high frequency in this season. And as you're doing your meditation, make sure that you stay hydrated. Make sure that you stay hydrated. Make sure that you're getting plenty of water as you're meditating. I normally get about 2 water breaks in between my meditation and fasting. So if I start meditating in the morning for 30 minutes to an hour, I will do the remaining meditation for another 30 minutes to an hour, depending on if I do it for 60 minutes or 2 hours. The main thing is you want to get plenty of water in your system because meditation can drain you out, especially when you're doing these kind of detoxing things and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of here, you guys. It's raining up here. Y'all better be careful out here. Stay away from these women who are operating low vibrational because You guys cannot take these women with you moving forward as you're ascending and evolving. You can't bring these women with you. Some women are not meant to come along with you in this journey. And what I've learned, women who are 4B and have decentered men, we can't really take you guys with us. We can't take you male-centered women with us. We can't take you pick-me's with me. None of you goddamn men are coming with us either. You're not supposed to be getting on journeys with women like me. I have to keep my frequency high. I have to stay in the sovereignty lane. I have to stay on the sovereignty path. I cannot bring any and everybody with me. And that journey of 4B is not meant to be walked with everybody. That is an independent sovereignty journey that women take themselves. Okay. But anyways, I got to get off of here. I got to heat up my meat pies. These are little bitty meat pies that I have bought with, different kind of meats in there. It's part of the fasting process, and it has rice and vegetables and all there. It's like vegetarian stuff. Anyways, I gotta heat up my lunch and get my day going here. But yeah, you ladies, y'all gotta protect yourself, because yeah, this year feels like some third war, like some war of the worlds, uh, uh, Stranger Things, Stranger Than Fiction. I don't know, some third kind mess going on here this year. I'm just telling you, it's just very strange, very very strange energy, you guys, for 2026. And the more that I sleep, and the more that I sleep, the more that my body is not resting. It's just not resting, you guys. And when it's like that, it's because I need to balance my energies out. It is because I need to meditate. But even beyond that, it feels like I'm in a dream state world. Like I'm here, but I'm not really here. I'm alive. I know I'm alive, but it's like I'm just somewhere else mentally. It's a very strange thing here, and it's the energies are just not right for 2026. It's just not right. So many glitches going on right now in the matrix. I see the same vehicle coming down my street 4 and 5 times a day. And it's the vehicle does the same thing every damn day. It passes my house at the same time, exactly at the same minute, second, hour of the day. Same facial expression of the person driving the vehicle. It stops in the front of my house, and it looks at my house, and then it drives away. And this happens 4 to 5 times a day. So even while I'm live with y'all, this is just keep happening on a loophole. It's like a loop, and it's just the simulation that we're in. It's just you I could just be talking to you guys, and then the next thing I know, people just appear in my fucking yard. It's like, where did these people come from? Where did they come from? They were not here, but they're here, because everybody has to play a role in the programming and in the script. Everybody has to play a role in your reality and your matrix. So it's kind of like, what is going on? And then for a while, I kept seeing the same butterfly pass my house at the same time, doing the same little butterfly dance that it does, and then it flies off. Sometimes I could be talking to y'all, and I turn around and my children are on the porch, and I never heard the damn door open. This is just all a part of the matrix and the stimulation. And I know for a fact we're in the stimulation right now, because it's the same loophole in my thing, and it's just, I know I'm not losing my mind. So what I've concluded to do is I tried to change the script, but you can't really do that when you're in the matrix. So all of these people who are following these systems, they're definitely stuck in a system. They're stuck in a loophole or something. And then I'm also learning about NPC bots. There's just some people that they have to play their role. They have to play the role in this reality that we live in, this simulation or game that we're all playing. And the crazy thing about it, who's controlling us? What if there's somebody looking at us down from somewhere else? You guys, this world is crazy. And it's just a bunch of illusions that we have yet to discover. You guys better, like I said, you guys better wake up, because I've looked outside of the box. But yeah, I'm still trying to wake up from New Year's Day, you guys. And then I'm hearing that the ball didn't drop in New York, so I don't know. You say that you're in New York, sis, so you would know if the ball dropped, but I don't think it dropped. Something definitely did not want us to come into 2026. Now, what that something is, I guess we'll never know. But we will know what this year is going to be about here in a moment, because it's already getting strange. Right about now, it's getting strange. And I know I said a whole lot of something that may mean nothing to people that are not operating where I'm at. But you guys be good, be safe. Um, please watch your back. And if you in Texas, please you need to watch your whole entire surrounding. 'Cause I didn't know that you guys. Oh, it did. Okay. I don't know what kind of serial mess you guys got going on up there. They say some kind of a serial, unaliver is up there taking out people and so forth. 34 bodies have been found of some sort. I don't know what the hell is going on. And I'm noticing a pattern. It's all black people. It's all black people. So you tell me what that's about, black people. 'Cause I think it's about extermination. I think it's all extermination that's going on. Clearly, something don't want us here. Y'all be safe.